spread one love, okay? Thanks for tuning in to us, the MNM Show.
MNM Show.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the M&M Show. I'm still sharing this show on our page, hence the cut-off start. But hey, you know how it goes. Really excited to have you tuned in. Really excited to be here once again at the One Love Massive headquarters downtown in Shaw. I'm here with the fabulous, the marvelous, the boss, Ms. Molly Ruland.
Oh.
What you doing?
I'm just sharing.
You're sharing too?
Yeah, you know, can we get a pause for the call? Actually, you know what? Before we get this started, if you're watching this right now, why don't you also take a second?
Yeah.
And go ahead and share this feed. You know what I mean? Because we need your help.
Because.
Exactly.
And while Molly is sharing, and you're sharing too, what up, J Mills?
With happening. J Mills shared her link immediately because her battery was about to die. So
Boom.
if you are chatting with us, I'm going to be looking over Molly's shoulder and whatnot. Thank you for sharing.
We'll keep
Thank
it
you
up.
for tuning in. Ow.
Hey.
And last but definitely, most definitely, never ever least, we have the one, the only, the fabulous, the America's sweetheart, the revolutionary, the mother, the daughter, the funny as fuck DC comedian,
Hey.
Michele. Sometimes.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys?
Hey.
Hey.
We're really happy to have you here today.
I'm excited to be here. I like to be out the house with adults.
Yes.
Yay.
On a blustery Tuesday
They'll
night.
be here any
That's right.
moment. Don't worry.
Yes. Well, you know how I like to start off the show. I just like to get caught up and see how everyone's week's doing, have some time of reflection. This is a good time for you, viewers, also to reflect on what the hell you just went through over the past 7 days and laugh with us as we unwind a little. So, you know, this week I'm going to start off with J Mills. Yeah,
Ah.
that's right. I like to switch it up
The
sometimes.
pressure is on.
Me too.
That wasn't J Mills. That was naughty Nina Ross. How was J Mills doing?
I mean, how's Nina doing? You know what I'm saying? How's the whole gang?
The whole gang is great. Nina's running around unleashed. J Mills is just popping her collar, and Jamila is sitting here looking very pleased with herself. Recently, as in yesterday, I joined Nikki in submitting our official word of candidacy in this year's DC local elections. I will be running for Ward 5 committee woman of the DC Democratic State Party.
Oh,
Hey.
you did that.
That's dope.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, and I enjoy it.
Vote for J Mills.
Vote
Yeah.
for me because I'm real. You know,
That's
I'm the
right.
sum of who I've been. And I'm just really excited to just anything anyone has to say, I'm going to blame it on rap music.
What?
I'm a rapper.
Sounds legit.
Got it.
I mean, what?
I don't know.
Yo, if we real life have Terminator as the governor of, one of the largest states in this country, then I, the real J Mills, can totally run for Ward 5 committee woman
Hell
of the
yeah.
DC State Democratic Party.
Yes.
Democratic
Yes.
State Party.
You got all those words in. That's
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a mouthful, and I want everyone to enjoy it. along with me.
And we're going to talk more about that later.
Nikki's
what
about to
it
like.
really is. And
It's more than a mouthful.
how you can get involved and how I got Jay Mills involved on the real tip. Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. Is that the highlight of your past week?
No, it's actually not. You're so involved in all the highlights of my past week.
I am.
Now I feel left out. Like, what's up?
No,
Well, it's really Tiggleby. This is what happened. Tell them what happened to
Yeah.
Mills.
Nikki has relocated the Tiger Swan Boutique's inventory to the J Suite. And I'm so excited to house these wonderful garments. They're so beautiful. Right now, nothing is for sale. We're just going to be doing photo shoots, reaching out to different stylists and persons I know in that regard. People to model the goods, and also putting out the word to some stylish friends that I know to make further donations to extend the curation and make this a thing. I'm so excited to be in a position as an artist where people are really paying attention to what I wear and be able to put that attention on businesses and people I know. So shout outs to Nikki Lewis, shout outs to Tiger Swan Boutique for this amazingly curated collection. Again, I feel like it's like a museum. It's not even a store. I have to find another word for it. So make sure you stop by the boutique again to catch your own view of this exclusive collection that has been handpicked and curated by Nikki Lewis of the Tiger Swan Boutique.
And it looks very beautiful in the J Suite. It looks way better in the J Suite than it looked in my home, in my basement, which is where it was being stored before.
I don't have a shade.
And so it looks really great in the J Suite. Definitely follow J Mills at the J Suite on Instagram and on Facebook, so you can learn when the upcoming fashion shoots and super dope events that she always does are.
Nice.
It's total DC culture. It's underground. It's fun. It's for everyone. I highly recommend you check it out. So thank you for hosting my collection in your space. I'm really excited to see what comes out of it.
Thank
and
you.
just see all the beautiful kings and queens shining.
And thank
Yes.
you, Mello.
Yes. So those are two pretty big, exciting developments in J Mill's life. Thanks for sharing that with us. Molly Ruland, how has your week been?
Oh, man.
What's up, boss lady?
Oh, man. You know. you know. You know. It's been a week.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. It's been another long week of a lot of days, you know what I mean? A lot of hours, and all of those days and a lot of those hours spent working, you know?
Yeah. Hustle mode.
Such is life, you know what I mean? They're long, exhausting, draining days, but I always go home in a good mood and lay in my bed happy with what we got done that day. But the next morning, that very quickly disappears as I'm like, fuck all of this. But by the time I get, you know, where anybody else can see me, I've worked that out for the most part. But I mean, you know, it is what it is, right? I mean, you know, anything worth having, you know, ain't easy to get. So.
No.
So, you know, but I'm definitely, I'm stoked to not be on social media still. I'm not going back. The only thing I'm bummed about is I miss certain things, you know, like just being able to keep up with what's going on, you know, with people that I care about, you know what I mean? Like you and you. So I was stoked when I opened my app to share things yesterday, and I saw the pictures of the two of you, and I was like, yes. Thank God. Yes. But yeah, you know, it's good. It's good getting control of things, you know, trying to map out the year. Lots of really exciting stuff with the business that we're about to announce. We're doing a whole One Love re-rub, basically like a relaunch of One Love Massive on Valentine's Day, where we're going to launch the digital advertising wall and our brand new website and content delivery system. So it's super exciting. I'm really pumped about that, but it's going to be a lot of fucking work for the next 16 days.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotta get it in.
Yeah.
Polish it up. Shine it up. Let it out to the world.
Go ahead, Nina. I know you want to say something.
No,
What?
she
What?
didn't.
Because she said
pervert.
polish it. Because she said polish it up.
Yes.
Oh, she got it. All right.
Well, thank
Molly got
you.
it.
Thank you for sharing
Did you
about.
get it?
Yeah, I got it. Did you see how I tried to sweep over it and just keep pushing forward? I know. Killed that. So, thank you, Molly, for giving us a sliver into the life of being a boss.
Oh, well, thank you for
You know?
asking.
Yeah, of course. And Michelle, what's been going on with you for like ever? Not just this past week.
Quick summary, if you don't mind.
Of my life.
20 years.
Tell us since day one.
No, we're not doing that.
Hey,
We want people to stay tuned.
She was born on a rainy night.
I know it was a cold winter day in December.
Was it now?
It was actually, but we're not going back that far. I don't know. I just been working really hard, trying to get, working doing the shows at Draft House and the ones at Beer Baron and all of that, and trying to date so I can score free weed, and and so that's really all I've been doing.
Hustling.
Really hard.
It's that
Like the
East
raps.
Coast, man. Like we're on our grind over here.
Yeah.
Yo, is that why I'm on my celibacy tip so easily? Because I grow weed?
Probably
Wait, where did that just come from?
because I get free weed. I only smoke weed when I'm dating someone because I don't buy it.
I mean, yeah, me too.
It's provided.
I can't imagine what that life is like, honestly. Yeah. I'll be a lot more sober.
Yeah, well, here I am, the only one that's,
I just grow my own. So,
Oh, that's nice. Self-sufficiency.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like masturbation, I guess. But, anyway, I don't even know
Not
how
like
we
that
got
at all. At all.
It's
Vote for
not.
J Mills.
At all.
That's my new cue when I'm getting too deep. Yo, vote for J Mills. I can remember. I'm a
Not at all.
public figure. Pull up.
Pull
Oh.
up.
Real
That's why
talk,
you're going to
though.
win, though.
Yes.
Masturbation is healthy. I can go on a platform for that.
I'm with it.
Go fuck yourself. 2018.
I was just about to reframe that into something
Campaign slogan.
palatable and
Empowering.
no failure.
BRB.
But no, yeah, for real, sexual health, very important.
It is.
Education here in the District of Columbia, and we're gonna pivot right,
All right,
there.
turn it around. Go ahead.
Yes. So
How was your week, Nikki?
Oh, you know what? My week has actually been freaking awesome, and let me tell you why. Because this is the first week that I've been like fully healthy from
I was
recovering
going to say
from the
that.
flu.
I heard you were sick.
And like, I've just never been more thankful for my life. Like, I am so serious. Like,
Air breathing through your nose.
yes, I can fully breathe through my nose. I've been at home, like working on my computer, like bumping my music, like taking a twerk break, doing some
Nice.
more. Like, I've just been like
Back to
happy. Yes.
Twerk
and
breaks.
Twerk breaks, and just eating whenever I want, feeding the baby and stuff. I feel hungry and I have appetite again. So I
Good.
know the baby is growing and getting bigger. And it just makes me happy. I'm happy. And, I think maybe before I had taken for granted my health. Like I really feel happy to be healty.
It's like when you have a
Amen.
toothache and you're like, man, yesterday this wasn't happening and I wish it was yesterday, Like, 'cause when you're like, I took for granted all that time where my face didn't hurt this bad. You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
like every minute is
Yeah.
like there.
Excruciating.
Yeah.
And then you're like, man, that whole day yesterday, I just pissed it away, not realizing how lucky I was to not have this.
I would have chewed more.
Yeah.
I would have drank all the ice
I want
water.
some jerky, just go wild. But
Have a Caesar salad.
all the things. Some Laffy Taffy, fuck it, go crazy.
Yeah, man, it's totally like that. Except, yeah, I just came down with the flu. It's not, but
And you survived.
and I survived.
This was
but
a hefty flu, though. A lot of people got taken out for like weeks. Like
yeah,
Nick,
it's not.
died.
It's not a small deal. It's a big
I
deal.
know. That's why I feel like this baby is about to be invincible, yo.
Yeah.
At this point, he has like the highest.
It-
I said he. Immune system ever.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's
I
going to be.
just felt
We're
it.
going to find out February 9th, though. So,
nice.
we'll keep people
Are
updated.
you gonna do like a big reveal thing?
You know, I was looking online today and it was like 64 ideas for a cute reveal. And I was like,
I vote that's lame.
I kind of felt like it was like a lot of work, you know, and I'll
just find out.
I'll just have, you know, like a baby shower when the time comes and people will know if it's a boy or a girl and we'll keep it pushing. But I will let people know on the show if Tiggleby, said fetus that I'm carrying.
Very gender neutral name, which you know.
Yes. Shout out to the I Love You America with Sarah Silverman show, which is where we
I love that show.
co-opted the name Tiggleby from episode 2. Really brilliant show, really hilarious, really insightful about who we are as Americans. But I will be revealing Tiggleby's gender after February 9th.
So exciting.
Stay tuned. Yes. So I've had just like a really positive week getting shit done.
That's awesome.
You know, and not stressed out. I'm just happy. And yeah. So I hope other people are feeling like that too. But thanks for sharing, ladies, how your weeks have been. It's always good to just take that time, talk about it, share with your friends, connect, you know, and see how everyone's energy is doing before you enter into a very deep, serious conversation about dating and booty popping and making people laugh,
Those are
Yes.
very important issues.
etc.
You're taking
know.
notes, ma'am.
Very important.
So which one of us is doing the booty popping?
You are.
Oh snap! I was hoping you would say that. Just kidding.
Are you
please.
ready?
No.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. So I do want to
J-Mills is
shout
like, I can
out.
teach you.
Totally. But I do want to shout out to Michele sometimes because over the years I've been watching you on Facebook and Instagram. I would say you're the
I
queen.
should put these on. I didn't want to mush my afro. But
Oh.
I'm going to do that for you guys.
Okay.
Oh.
It is a fabulous afro.
Wow.
It's a whole different
It
situation.
sure is. Can hear things.
Yes.
Hearing is
Oh.
not overrated.
It is not.
It's not. I had an ear infection once, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
And did you appreciate the time when
That's
you were
right.
not having an ear infection?
What?
See?
I understand why babies cry. It is the most
Exactly.
miserable
It
thing.
is miserable.
It's so amazing how like your whole entire body fucking matters. You can have just
Yes.
a sore eyelash, like a sty growing. You're like, oh my god, my fucking eye. You're limping because your eye hurts. You know,
Yes.
you could just have a
Yeah.
broken nail that just broke to the meat.
Oh, I hate that. That's
Oh,
so painful.
see what I mean? It's
It
just
is
it's
painful.
a broken nail, and it
I
right.
know that.
Or we're just a bunch of crybabies.
Stub the
It's
shit
fine.
out of your toe.
Yeah.
Let your toe meet an unmovable force. Yo, my life is
painful.
fucked up for right now. Nothing else.
Right
Nothing
what
else
if
matters.
Nothing else
Yeah.
matters.
And
nothing else
inevitably,
matter?
inevitably, there's somebody there going, "What? What happened? Are you okay? What?" Asking you a barrage of unnecessary questions right at the moment you stub your toe. Every time.
Like you see stars. It's just a toe. It's just a toe. It's just a tooth. It's just,
Just
an
a
ear.
toe. The
Matters
toes
so
hold
much,
us
though.
up.
Eye. You bit your tongue. You bit your lip. But like, and all joy is removed.
It
from
all
that.
matters.
Your
Momentarily.
whole body matters.
Oh,
y'all.
joy.
Whole body
Bodies
matters.
matter, man.
Man, there was this
Vote
lady.
for Jay.
Vote for Jay. 'Cause all bodies matter. Every single inch of it.
Vote for Jay Mills. Tell me why. Okay, y'all. We went down to the Board of Elections, which is down there at Southwest. If you're interested in running for office, it's actually not Southwest, it's Southeast. It's 1015 Half Street. Southeast over there by the Navy Yard. But tell me, when me and Jay Mills went down there to register for candidacy,
What did you
she
do?
had pulled out her ID and it was like Jamila Hogan. I was like, who the hell is who is
Why you
that?
gonna put my whole government out there like this? Wait a minute.
Oh shit. I'm
We don't know who
sorry.
that is.
Strike that from the
Strike
record.
that. That won't be on the ballot, so you
Whoa.
can't actually vote.
You're voting
that
for Jay
person.
Mills.
You're voting for Jay Mills.
Know that.
Wait, you can just do that? Oh yeah.
Well, you have to put
Thanks,
your
Timothy.
information, but then it says how you want to be listed.
That's true. Like
Yeah.
like D's nuts.
Yes, exactly.
You don't remember it?
Maybe.
Remember that kid? He's like a 14-year-old kid, and he put his name on the presidential ballot in like Idaho as D's nuts, and it like made it. But then they like had to take it off because he wasn't of legal age to be on there. But he
That's
followed.
the only reason.
That's
If
yeah.
he was 35, he
Yes.
would have won because I would have voted for D.
I
Never
would've-
mind, never mind.
I would have
Let me not
voted for
say
D's
that.
nuts. I'll say it. I'm not running for office.
I would have strongly considered his political platform and looked forward to hearing more about his
He
stances
actually
on
does
the
have a political
socio-political.
platform, but whatever.
s-
It had to do with
Stands for
immigrant
America.
rights. You would love that.
exactly. So
He's
shout
very-
outs to
he's very-
D's nuts.
I don't even know what to say.
I mean, he was just trying to prove a point that like D's nuts could get on the ballot. You
One
know what
thing
I
was
mean?
for sure, D's nuts was in everybody's mouth.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody was talking about it. Everybody
One
knew about D's
thing
We have
nuts.
to stop. We have to
Is
stop.
for sure.
I'm not helping.
Okay, pull up.
I don't think these
Wait,
nuts
wait.
will be on the ballot here in DC in June.
No,
Let's hope not.
but Jay Mills will be.
But Jay
All
Mills
right,
will
ballot.
be.
All right, now.
And if you want to learn more about her platform, you can
Mhm.
Instagram her or message her or something. But so what I was talking about like 5 minutes ago
Before we
was
got on these nuts.
actually just Michelle and her fabulosity. I don't know how we went from Michelle to D's
D's
nuts, but
I mean, these nuts matter.
You know what I'm saying?
they do. Do they?
Yes.
I mean, I hear.
yes,
Yeah.
they do. All
Well,
nuts
you
matter.
know-
Why are you egging her
Your
on
nuts.
right now? Though, like, seriously, we were so close to edging out of this conversation, and then you
And you just
asked her
pull her
if
back
these
in.
nuts matter. You know, like,
Because it made me think. It made me think about like James Franco and Aziz Ansari, who think their nuts matter so much that they can be aggressive. Because
well-
people are talking about that shit right now.
The problem is they didn't care about her nuts. All nuts matter.
That was deep.
That is really
And I
deep.
co-sign.
Because we have little like
I co-sign.
testes inside or
Women
something
have
like
nuts,
that.
too.
I mean, we make whole ass people. You're making one right
know.
now. You know what I'm saying?
Women actually have multiple nuts. All
Can
right.
you-
Pull all the way up.
Well, I mean,
Pivot.
Most
we're
women.
pivoting because I'm actually interested. I don't know that much about the female anatomy. I'm actually learning something new like every month because I'm pregnant. I'm like, oh, I
Oh,
have
I
this,
see.
or oh, this happens, you know, or
Yeah,
oh,
word.
that's where the baby really is, you know.
Yeah, I know,
like,
right? It's so not your belly button.
Yeah,
there's
no,
this
I'm
video-
learning.
Yo, there's this video
Real
on
talk.
YouTube that's the entire like from contraception to birth, but it's like computer animated but pretty realistic in 4 minutes. I'm like,
Yeah.
A lot happens.
Intense.
When I found out where
super
my
intense.
ovaries
You should watch
were-
it. I was fascinated. I learned more in that 4 minutes than I learned in my entire like sex ed. You know,
They don't teach us about
No.
ourselves.
They're like, just
Or
don't have
somehow
sex.
I missed that.
You might have missed it.
I might have. I mean,
No,
I went
no.
to a lot of different schools,
They
so I
don't-
might have missed it.
They don't teach women about ourselves. Nowhere ever do we learn that women can ejaculate. We don't learn about the female orgasm. We don't learn about the female body
or that
at
we have a
all.
vestibule. And
A
You don't
vestibule.
understand. They don't.
Is that a lobby? Because
it is. It's right before the vagina, so it's like a waiting area.
Oh,
of
got
sorts,
you,
yeah.
got you.
vestibule.
Vestibule. I understand.
I'm just
now.
saying this is real. I'm just backing up
I
the
did
a
not
fact.
know I
vulva,
had
a
a
vagina,
lobby.
and a vestibule.
Am
know what
I
I'm saying?
familiar with
It's
my
like a parlor.
vestibule?
You know what I mean?
I just
Parlor?
I,
A waiting area? Like, we can see you now.
No, that's real because I saw this like diagram of the female anatomy and I was like,
yeah.
What kind of magazines are in your vestibule?
I mean, you know,
Oh shit.
that's a whole nother question for the M&M show, like zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse
curious.
mode
I
and like what magazine subscriptions are delivered to your
Yes.
vestibule.
These are good questions.
It's a good
are.
question. Now I'm trying to think what would I think I'd get real simple. I really like that magazine. I find it useful. Lots of like house cleaning tips, fashion tips, food tips, you know, things that make me happy. And
Which-
I-
Well,
Which
that's
magazine?
that's Reader's Digest is in your vestibule.
yeah.
I feel like
It's
I'm a
called Real
Rolling
Simple.
Stone kind of girl. You know what I mean?
Reader's
Yeah.
Digest, maybe.
Rolling Stone is in your vestibule.
I don't
Good
know.
housekeeping.
Right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
17. No, I'm just kidding. That's weird.
That is weird.
I'm thinking
Edit that out. You didn't hear that.
maybe like Better
No, they heard
Homes
it.
and Gardens.
I love Better Homes and Gardens.
Me too. I think that's a really nice festival magazine. You're waiting to enter me.
Delivered
Have a seat.
straight to the doorstep.
Have some water. We have some magazines on the
Get your learn
table.
on
I feel like I should
about the
Google
green life.
the vestibule just so I can.
You should. So yes, to clarify.
I know, just to make sure I'm getting it right.
I don't think we're using this word right. I don't even know how we got here.
Me either, but I kind of like it.
All
Someone
nuts
back me up
matter.
here.
I do remember that being a thing. Women have many nuts, and we didn't learn about all the nuts that we can have. I've read somewhere that if women had to have an orgasm in order to get pregnant, there would be like 8 people on the planet Earth.
Ah.
Well, that sounds unfortunate.
It does, but I mean, there are women who are having sex and they do not have an orgasm, and that's
Yeah.
a problem because all nuts matter. And for men to go into a sexual experience not caring about our nuts,
I feel like most
I don't know if
women
they don't care; they just don't know. And if we don't know how to have an orgasm, how does it do?
he should.
It took me a long time to figure it out.
Maybe he
for
should
myself.
ask about
Are you
it.
ready?
Exactly.
Are you
Sure.
ready? The vaginal vestibule. The vaginal opening is called the vestibule of the vagina. In medicine, a vestibule is a space or a cavity at the entrance to a canal, channel, tube,
It's the
or
entrance.
vessel.
It's the part that gets tingly first.
Exactly. But hold on. In ancient Rome, because that's important, the vestibulum.
It's you know, like that. You know that the circle that
Little area
It gets
before-
tingly first.
It's the area before the muscle, so it's
right. It's just a tingly.
Right.
It's like not a whole.
like just the tip. We have a
just
tip
the tip
too.
area.
Just the
We have a
tip.
tip,
When
and
we
it's
say-
called the
tip
vestibule.
And
waiting
sometimes if you
area.
just put the tip in,
Yes,
that's really a spicy place.
put the tip in the
Yes.
vestibule.
It is.
We got action.
That's why they know. Let me put the tip in. Then you know, because if I put the tip in, it's gonna go
Go
all the
in.
way.
Because the vestibule.
Yes.
It's a very welcoming
right.
place. We have
It's
nice
tingly.
magazines.
It's tingly.
You
It
want to come in.
responds.
You just make
What
yourself
else
right
you
at
got
home.
over there, Molly?
In ancient Rome, the vestibulum was an entrance or an enclosed porch leading to the house.
That's why I said lobby
Oh shit!
or foyer.
She's a brick house.
With a beautiful
She's
vestibule.
my tomato.
And a very welcoming vestibule.
Very,
Just
very
letting it all hang
welcoming.
out.
Yes.
So look at that. Who would have thought
I
that
think I
like,
might need wine because I have no idea what's happening right now.
I've been waiting
I
for this
don't
moment.
know what's going on. I don't know why we're
Honestly,
talking about
I
vestibules.
don't either. Sometimes it just goes there and we go with it. But
I'm-
back to you.
I'm going
Back
with
to you. So I was just saying before, like, I've known about you for a long time. I've been watching you on
Yes.
Facebook and the gram and whatnot. And I just want to say, aside from being a hilarious person, you're also the queen of like the appropriate like booty shot.
What?
So those take time.
It's like always very classy and ladylike.
I try to thirst trap to make sure that I get the attention that I need and require as a single woman, but also recognizing that I have 2 children who I can't. I mean, right now they don't have the mental health thing on my insurance, so I'm gonna need just to wait before I put them there. So I need to be just that amount of yes, classy.
It's always appropriate. It's always
Although
lovely.
the kids aren't on Facebook, and so anyway, it's
but
fine.
appropriate. You know, like she'll just kind of like turn to the side and you'll get like a nice curvature there.
Because let me just say
You know?
this. I
Wait,
was a
what?
beanpole for all of my life until I popped out kids and boom, there's the booty. And so I never got any attention because, you know, I was a beanpole. And then I get married, I have these kids, and then I'm in the perfect shape. And then I get divorced so I can really, really maximize.
There you go.
That's not why I got
It's like,
divorced.
it's like an opportunity.
So you can maximize.
I look great now. Bye. No, that's not why. But thank you
But
for
you
noticing.
do look great.
Thank
you
you
always
for
look beautiful. Y'all definitely need to follow
I'm
her.
gonna check it out. I need tasteful
Yes.
booty shots,
She
man. I
has
need to know how to
Always
Oh.
do that, but
No, not always, but enough that it's in my psyche that I feel like I wanted to compliment you about
Thank
it.
you. Thank Thank you for that.
It's important to like celebrate your womanhood and like feel beautiful and like, you
appreciate
know,
it,
like
yes.
do that, you know. Well,
It
there's
is
like
very important because let me just say this. I think there's so many messages out there that don't make us love our own bodies. And so I think the act of loving ourselves in itself is revolutionary.
Agreed.
And so I make sure that I just feel good about myself even when I feel ugly or whatever. Own that I feel ugly, but you know, I'm still beautiful.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Word.
Yes,
Wisdom
queen.
nugget.
Yes, queen, yes.
We have a graphic for this. Wisdom
Yes.
nugget, bling, bling, bling.
Yes, always love yourselves, lady. It is revolutionary.
It is.
It really is because there's so many societal forces. Basically, if you're not a rich old white man, like if you're anybody that's not that, there's always messages telling you that like
There's something wrong with
you're
you.
not the image of success or you know you shouldn't have that, you know, and especially as women, especially as people of color, it is revolutionary. And this, I'm just going to say it, white supremacist, super capitalist, sexist society, it is revolutionary for you to love yourself.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
It's the most revolutionary
Yes.
thing you can do.
And believe in yourself. Because when you love yourself, you believe in yourself, then you overcome hurdles and obstacles and you keep it pushing, you know. But if you don't love
Absolutely.
yourself, you stay wallowing in a little, you know, sandbox of sadness. And
Oh, that sounds terrible.
We need a graphic for that.
it's like a
Sandbox
trap.
of sadness.
It's the real trap.
Like you're hanging out in there and you're making a sandcastle, and then all of
All
a
by
sudden it just,
yourself.
it just bottoms out.
And they're getting
The
ringworms.
sandbox of
no
sadness.
one wants ringworm.
No one wants ringworms. That's the word.
I mean, I kind of want it. I feel like I could lose a couple pounds. You know what I'm saying? But
No, Molly.
No, ringworm doesn't make you lose. That's getting worms inside your body.
well, I'll take
Ringworm
those.
is like the thing that gives you the circle, you know.
It makes you bald.
You're supposed to love yourself.
Yeah, the
That's
hair
the
won't grow in
revolution.
this
Oh,
way.
yeah.
We're on
or
that.
other places.
Sandbox of
That's just
kidding.
sadness.
fungus in your skin.
Just kidding. I don't want
Yeah.
deadly parasites.
Don't do that.
No,
No.
no.
Definitely not.
That was not a wisdom nugget.
Oh my god.
But
No.
I do want to park Sandbox of Sadness and park it next to Woolly Mammoth for later. Later, not now.
Oh,
later.
shit.
But just Sandbox of Sadness.
Inside joke.
Yep.
Yes.
Alrighty.
All right.
So,
Yes, I'm addicted to social media, and so everyone, and it's also important because I think that once people know your story, they're more, they're kind of rooting for you, and I feel like people are
Absolutely.
rooting for me because they know where I came from and to now, and like, you know, in the very beginning when I started comedy, inviting all my friends out, to me being very unfunny, and I appreciated them coming out when I was just starting, and so then, so people I think root for me, and so then eventually when I didn't have to ask my friends or my kids to come and support me, I mean that's because those people follow me, they know they've come to a show and they know that they're going to have a good time. But then now they can come on their own volition.
Yes.
Because they see that and finally I've turned a corner.
you're blowing up.
I am.
That's
It's
awesome.
exciting.
I am actually.
I have so much respect for stand-up comedians.
Oh my God, right?
Like endless. Like you guys are gonna like
You're in
save
there.
us.
We're on our own up there and writing stuff and you know
So much
save us.
respect.
or not writing stuff.
Just
I
winging
mean,
it. Because you're so good.
it's just so important, you know. Like my whole life, people told me I should be a stand-up comedian. Like,
Yep.
It's like even at one time I was super depressed, and I went to my mom 'cause she works in a psych and addiction treatment unit, and I was like really suicidal. I was like having a really hard time. It was like a lot of months on end, and I just couldn't see the end of the. And I went to my mom for help, which I don't normally do.
Yeah.
It was definitely really at the end of my, and I went to the hospital to talk to her in her office, and I was like, Mom, I'm really struggling. And she was like, you know, I really think you should try stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
That was her advice to me when I was like, I'm suicidal. She was like,
It's
think
life-saving.
you should try stand-up comedy. And I left the room, and she was like, maybe even one day this would be part of your routine. And I didn't feel that way at the time.
Yeah.
But now, years later, I'm like, well, it's kind of funny in a really fucked up way. But I have nothing but, because like it's got to be so hard to just go up there and bare your soul and just put your shit out there and like
Until
in hopes that people laugh at you, you know?
You have to, but you have to bare your soul or they won't laugh. And
Right.
so I spent a lot of time in the very beginning just trying to say stuff. People say, oh, you're funny, so you should do stand-up. Being funny, like with your coworkers, is much different than sitting
Right.
by yourself and people expect you to be funny.
They
So that
paid
was
for
my,
you to be
right,
funny.
you know?
Like, no
I
less.
mean, no,
DC,
no.
where everybody thinks they're funny.
Exactly. This is, you just quoted my Tinder life. I got to take all those comic pictures down. So you have to say what you mean and make and know that actually it's about you when you're up there, but it's not really about you. It's about everyone else and having them make those connections. And then once you learn how to do that and learn the technical aspects of it, because you have to, since people know that there's a difference between just being funny and being a comedian, that's kind of like a formula, but it's like how to structure a joke. And then once you get good at it, you can stray away from the structure. But you have to have a premise, you have to have a setup, and then you have to have the home run, you have to have the punchline. And so knowing that and learning those things, reading books and looking at other really great comedians and learning how they do it and learning how to make connections with the audience is very helpful.
Yeah. Absolutely. Who were some of the comedians that influenced or inspired you?
When I was really little, my mom worked nights and my dad worked during the day. And so we were by ourselves in the house, watching TV, and they used to play I Love Lucy reruns. And Lucille Ball is the person, that type of comedy that I kind of pattern myself after, not just comedy, but with a lot of act outs and physicalness in it. Yeah. And so I love her. I love Gilda Radner for the same reason, for her characters.
Itty bitty titty committee.
Yes. And Carol Burnett. But in the stand-up world, I love, my favorite of all time, the best to ever do it, and it's not even subjective, is Richard Pryor. And he's brilliant. Like, looking at the things that he does and knowing as a comedian, like, what it takes to do those things, like, that's hard. Like, I'm going to tell a joke, but then I'm going to act this out. I'm going to be on the floor. I'm going to tell about the worst parts of myself and make sure that people say it in a way that makes people laugh with me and not feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. How
do you feel about Dave Chappelle's latest special, given what you said about Richard Pryor? Because I felt what you said up until I saw his last joint. And he just did
stop with the
something
hard questions.
Oh, I didn't see the last. I saw
It's really good.
Let me just say, Dave Chappelle.
for the science of comedy, yo.
Dave Chappelle, as a contemporary comedian, is like the best out there. He's the best out there. So there was 2 specials he released recently, the ones he released New Year's Eve. There was the first one that I actually saw live at the Warner Theater. Thank you very much. I was way up in the nosebleeds, but I was there, damn it.
I heard you laugh.
Thank you. And that was brilliant. Like, just technically, like he said, here's the punchline. You won't know when I'm going to give it, but I'm going to tell this long story. And then boom, he does it. And then everyone laughs. And he told you what the punchline was going to be. Because most of comedy is like taking you by surprise and seeing that element of surprise and how it's funny at the same time. For him to be able to do that. And so now every comedian, when I go to open mics and stuff, they're all trying it. I'm like, you are not him. Don't do it.
He rapes and he saves.
Oh, God.
No, wait. Okay. So that was the other one, and I have some issues.
No,
he made an Emmett Till joke,
and then I kicked her in the pussy.
And then I kicked her in the pussy.
He did.
I
Let me
watched
just
that one.
say this
I did
whole
watch
thing,
that
the
one.
whole long thing about Emmett Till and all of that. That was amazing.
Powerful.
What?
It was amazing.
He educated
technically,
them
He did.
You can't
technically,
do
he's
that.
the best, and that's one of the reasons why he wasn't going to do it anymore. Because it's like, what else can I do? Like, I'm really good at this, and he's right.
Yeah.
The second one. I liked it too.
Okay.
I like the story element. I read. I was a teacher for a long period of time, and I was teaching in incarcerated youth, and a lot of them couldn't read. And so I took the Iceberg Slim books to teach them how to read, because that was something they were interested in. There was curse words. Yeah. So I knew what story that he was talking about, and then for him to weave it into that long story, that was great. That was brilliant. He said a couple of comments in there that I didn't like. And so, and it wasn't like, because the people like got on him about the transsexual jokes, but I don't feel like the way he said it, and the way he said it up, I didn't feel it was offensive. But then when he said the stuff about women getting attacked or sexual harassment in the workplace when you're an actress or you're a comedian or whatever the case is, I feel like he poo-pooed it a little bit. And that made me feel bad, because like we just want to do our job. We just want to do our job and not have to worry about, am I getting this job because he thinks he's going to be able to fuck me, or am I getting this job because people are going to watch what I do and I'm really good at what I do. And so I feel like he didn't take as much care as he took during that first special when he was talking about the Filipino boxer and then talking about the whole transsexual thing.
Yeah.
I feel like he took a lot of care for it not to be offensive. I don't think he took the same care about that setup for the second special, New Year's Eve. So, but I mean, he's Dave Chappelle, so who am I to judge?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a tricky.
I'm judging a little bit on the inside. But who am I?
I mean, it's
a
such
local comedian.
It's such a tricky thing, but you know what I respect about comedians that get it wrong or whatever? Like Dave Chappelle has to wear those words all year long.
Yes.
Like he's not a troll. He's not like anonymously saying shit to upset people.
That's right.
Like he has to wear that shit
Wear it.
all year long as
it.
Dave Chappelle, exactly as who the fuck he is. And you know what? That takes a lot of like respect. So I feel like you're allowed to get it wrong and you're allowed to say some really dumb, offensive shit, even about women or about whatever, because you're standing on stage. And you know what I mean? You've earned the right to get that many people in front of you, and you got to wear it the rest of the year. And if you get it wrong, you're going to fucking feel it.
You're going to feel it. And I feel like the fact that that was something that was happening right then, it was not like the previous special that he took, a long period of time to write.
For sure.
This is something that is happening right then. So know, and at first it was like he's only releasing one special. Then out of the blue, he's releasing two, only because he wrote this whole thing.
Right.
And that took a very short amount of time. And so I don't think that he had the time to take the care that he took on the first one.
For sure.
So I think that I don't really have a problem with comedians saying things that are offensive. What I have an issue with, if you say something that's offensive, and because we're always working stuff out, we go and we test it out and see if it's funny or whatever.
Right.
And so if you get it wrong, which you may do,
I would imagine
you may get it wrong.
Yeah.
Then own that shit. Say, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. That's my bad. But what I don't like is people double down and say,
I said what I said.
Say what I said. It's comedy. Why are you getting offended? If people got offended, then it wasn't fucking funny.
Right.
Then rewrite your joke. Because people are supposed to laugh. That's your job.
Yes.
Right.
And we need the jokes about things that are offensive because they're things that we think about, the things that we're struggling with as a nation and as communities,
That's right.
You need to be able to laugh about some of this shit.
Right. They always ask, can you make jokes about rape? It's not about jokes about rape. It's about, can you make a funny joke about rape?
Right.
If you can do it. But the people I see
hard.
Dave Chappelle made a joke about rape, and wow.
It was hilarious.
It wasn't
because
he rapes more than he saves.
And the thing,
no, he saves
more than he
rapes.
He
rapes and he saves.
But he in that phrase, he epitomized the cognitive dissonance that all black people felt like. Man,
exactly.
I got a scholarship because of Bill Cosby, but he around here raping people.
Chocolate ice cream.
That is
exactly.
a raper.
He's pudding pops. He's raping people. And you have to he did all these good things, but he's also
he is a rapist.
Exactly.
Reconcile these facts.
you got
He's a superhero.
Like I definitely had a lot of respect for Dave because I found
rapes.
myself on the side of, the whole Bill Cosby thing. I became like the poster child for that argument somehow. And
I don't drink red wine.
It's that bad.
I don't. I mean, I need to be a grown up.
Have some water.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks for offering.
Yeah, I definitely really appreciate it.
I can't be a badass in front of everyone.
That's okay.
I'll get a water.
So we got to ask you about the topic of the week. Week.
What is that?
Uh-oh.
Week.
What could it be?
As a female comedian in this interesting industry, another female comedian was in the news this week. For her feeling like Netflix did not offer.
Oh, yes.
Monique! You knew it. You knew it was coming. She was playing the whole time. Do I need to leave the whole question in?
No, don't leave the whole question in. Let me just say this.
Thoughts.
I support black women whenever they do stuff.
Yes.
And I believe that Monique is an amazing comedian.
She is.
And Amy Schumer is not a 10th of the comedian that Monique is.
Yes.
I don't think so
She
either.
released that special on Netflix, and it was terrible. I was never on the I Hate Amy Schumer bandwagon until, because everyone talked badly about her and her attitude and how she steals jokes and all of that, until I saw that special. And it's like, this is all you do for a job. Like, I work, I have children, I have comedy, I got grad school. And I take the time out to write my own jokes. That's all you do. That's your job. That's my dream, to have comedy be just my job. And those jokes were terrible. Like, it's not about, like, even the people in the audience didn't laugh. I felt like they should have dubbed some laughter in there. Ooh. And it's like, or something, because she said a joke and then you got like chuckles. And I'm like, nah, not for a Netflix special. Not when you dress all in leather talking about this is your leather special. Bitch, make the jokes land. So I've got enough of Monique because I don't like to say bad things. However, I feel like Netflix lowballed her.
Definitely.
They lowballed her.
The fuck. Well, did you hear the further revelations that were brought out?
I didn't hear it from Netflix. I didn't hear it from Netflix.
I didn't do tell.
They said that they would have gone as high as 2.5 million. That's what I heard on the interwebs. But I didn't. But I don't know if that came from them. I saw someone say that that's what Netflix said, but I didn't see Netflix. Nobody from Netflix said it.
Media takeout. Is that the?
Okay. Well, yes, but that's not a media takeout. I also told one of my said, yeah, media takeout.
Media takeout. That's why I prefaced it with media takeout. However,
that's not a credible source to me.
It was updated. They noted certain sources. They stated. Similarly, that there were initial negotiations for 2.5 upwards of 3 million or 5. Something like, I don't remember, but it definitely was in the millions.
Yes.
We can even say the lower number of 2.5. And she needed to come in and pitch the idea of whatever her Netflix special was going to be.
So this is that's the issue. So regardless of what money it would have gone to, or if they were going to go higher or they weren't going to go higher, she went about it in the wrong way. Mm-hmm. You don't post no selfie iPhone camera video about I want all my babies to boycott Netflix. That's not how you handle things. First of all, her husband shouldn't be her manager. Whoop. Because that is not the way you handle business. First of all, she was talking about how she was on a call. Why are you on a call? Wow. You're Monique. Why are you taking a call from somebody at Netflix? Somebody is representing you. I hate having to go and ask for money at the end of the night. I hate that. And so if I'm thinking about having somebody go with me so they have to ask for money at the end of the night, why is Monique on a phone call about money? Mm-hmm. Why is she on a phone call about money? That's number one. Number two is, if you get lowballed, she got lowballed. That's what people do. They want to give you the least amount of money as possible. Mm-hmm. Then either you say, no, well, I'm not worth that. I'm worth much more. This is what my idea was. These are the amount of followers I have. This is what we don't look at resumes, but we're going to have to look at this. This is what my idea is. And then say, okay, or tell your representative, well, say that we can't take that, and these are the reasons why we can't take that. And then decide if they give you more, or you decide to do what Wanda Sykes did and went elsewhere.
Exactly.
And then you go somewhere else, you put in your own coin, make your own special even, and then put it on YouTube, retweet it, then put it someplace else, and then look how many people saw it, and then make your own money back. Mm-hmm. Do that. Pull an Oprah or something like that. Right. Don't get on Facebook or Instagram telling people to boycott Netflix.
So no one's boycotting Netflix. There's too many good shows on there, man.
It's not. So my thing is, it's not about. I think she was lowballed. I think that they do look at Amy Schumer as a draw, which is incorrect and false. But I do think that she handled it in the wrong way. And that's unfortunate.
So artist question, interested. You mentioned manager, also in this process can be a booking agent.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and a personal assistant. All these persons are people that should be taking your phone calls if you are in an entertainment position. Yes. Definitely. Those 3 positions. Which of those 3 positions do you feel is the most important position in a situation such as Monique's?
The person who manages you. The person who manages you. Because booking agents don't work for you. Booking agents work for people who are outside. Mm-hmm. The booking agents, so you have to have a relationship with them so you'll get booked, right? But and your personal assistant, you can get your sister or your cousin to do that for you. So the manager is really the one that says, okay, these are the kind of shows that we should be looking for. I'm going to see what, X, Y, or Z. So sometimes the manager and agent take the same role. So a manager / agent, someone who is going to represent you in the matters of getting booked, what kinds of shows you're going to do, and the kind of money that you're talking about. Because sometimes sometimes you don't want to do something, even if they're paying you money, it's not a good look for you. So sometimes they'll offer you money, but you're not going to do it. Like people will offer you, like I was offered to open up for Dustin Diamond. I'm not doing that.
Oh my God, Screech
is now a comedian. He was a porn star. Now he's a comedian, and no one is.
a porn star.
I
Yes.
heard about that.
I heard that Jessie was a porn star too.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah.
She did that movie, fucking Showgirls.
Oh, that's right. But she wasn't a good one.
That's not a porn though. That's a movie.
That's
I
a
know,
movie about
but-
stripping. But we felt like,
You know,
but I did hear about
when you live
Dustin
in
Diamond the
California,
porn industry.
It's
Jessie
true.
had a nice right.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
It's a slippery slope when you're in LA doing movies about being a stripper. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's not a lot of room for growth there.
Well,
Wanna practice?
how do you go about, like, for an aspiring comedian, how do you go about finding a manager that you can really trust, that is gonna actually like represent you well? Because when I hear y'all talking about how in the entertainment industry it's standard or professional to have someone booking for you or managing you, I'm like, I must be a rare bird, because I want to negotiate my money, because I trust
You
me
don't.
to ask what.
Well, I think that when you're early in your career, you do. Like, I decide what I'm going to do and what I don't do. Right? I don't have anyone representing me. There's no one that I know that I'm close enough to that I would allow that to happen. Or not just that I'm close enough to, but also knows comedy business.
Yeah.
Because I said different. People approach me, but they do music. And like there's one person in particular who manages a larger name, and he's been talking to me about it. And he does really good work, and he's super successful at it. But I don't know if he knows comedy. You know what I mean? So I think it's just about being in the industry and knowing people who do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's like, who do you
sticking
use?
at it.
and
And,
looking at other
networking.
comedians that are getting it and talking to them and
Getting it
seeing who they're using, because it's a
Absolutely.
totally, like, I can speak as a booking agent for artists, totally different planet.
Yeah.
Comedians, artists,
You're not doing the same shows. It's not the same.
No.
It's not the same.
guarantees
it's not
are
the same
different,
shows.
negotiations are
Definitely.
different, like terms of the contract are different. It's a different whole different thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to have a person that is like, oh, you can't just take everything. I remember when I was first starting out, and someone said, someone who followed me on Facebook and said, can you do comedy at my baby shower? And I was like, yes. No one wants to hear comedy at a baby shower. And I'm like, why am I here? I've got $75. And I was
You're like,
grateful.
who's drunk?
I hope you took yourself out to dinner
Like,
after
it
that,
was-
at
it was-
least.
it was bad. But yeah, that sometimes you got to just say no. Like, no, I know,
Yeah.
thank you, but no.
Well, tell us about how you came up with the idea for the comedy show Black Card Declined. And actually, maybe before we talk about it, we have a clip
shit.
from one of the Black Card Declined shows.
trailer.
I think it was at the Draft House?
Yeah, that's the one that was at the Draft House.
Yeah.
We have them there in regular now. They started at Beer Baron, now they are at the DC Draft House.
DC
until they
Draft
say
House.
otherwise.
We have a clip.
Yes, I think so. No?
We don't.
DC Draft
No.
House.
No clip.
Until
So,
she
No, but
says-
if you follow me on YouTube,
Follow her.
I've uploaded my trailer. Also, you can also follow DC Draft House and look at it there. But you should mainly just.
Well,
follow
what we
me.
can do, we can put it in the show description.
There you go.
We can put
We'll
all
put
the
a
links
link.
in for
we'll
sure.
put the links
Cool.
you can see. But
It's a super fun show.
tell us about how you came up with it and was bold enough to do Black Card Declined.
I was part of the things of making sure I was getting booked and whatnot. Sometimes I wasn't getting as booked as often as I felt like I should have. So I started a production company where I would host and produce shows. When you host and produce shows, comics want to come, but also ones that are successful want you to come out to where they are. So I figured that was a good way to meet new comics and to be able to travel if I could book other comics.
Is this part of Brainy Girl Productions?
This is Brainy Girl Productions.
Shout out Brainy Girl Productions.
So I said, well, let me start doing these shows and also give opportunities to to other female comics, especially female comics of color who are in the same boat I am, that they would rather just have a dude than a funny girl. So I put Brainy Girl Productions together, and I did a couple of shows. And then one of the shows I ended up giving to another female comedian. So then I was like, well, I have an empty spot. I got to figure out something that's fun. And so we had played this card, Black Card Revoked, at the Fish Fry. You go to those Fish Fries in the summer?
Yes.
Yeah. So someone had brought Black Card Revoked there, and we played it. And I'm like, well, that's cute. And then I was like, And then so I was thinking, like, let's do that, but with comedy. And so I had the idea, I'm going to quiz the comedians. If they get an answer wrong, they get a minute chopped off their set. And then the audience gets a chance to answer. And then we can ask questions directly to the audience. And then that's the setup. So I had a running night at Beer Baron. And so I brought it to Beer Baron on a Saturday. And it was super, super, like, people loved it. Like, I knew it was a good idea. And people were like, oh, this is a great idea, Michelle. And I'm like, okay. So we did it, and they were like, and I noticed that the audience liked it more when I asked them questions than the comedians. Like, the comedy was funny and great, but the interactive piece of it, they loved. And so we did it at the Beer Baron. We sold out the first time. I mean, sold out. We did it for free. But they drank all the drinks, and I got 10% of that. And it was a great, successful show. And then we did it a few more times, and then I pitched it to DC Draft House, and they're new. They're competing with DC Improv.
Where is that?
DC Comedy Theater, Draft House Comedy Theater. They started in Arlington. There's an Arlington Draft House.
The Arlington Cinema and Draft House.
Yes, they have one in DC.
What? I had no idea. Where is it?
Yes, 13th and L. You should come out. Yeah, it's right in the corner. You know where Maddie's Tap Room is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's right next door.
Yeah.
Right next door. And so I pitched it to them. I sent them like the Eventbrite totals, like how many people were there and how much money I was making, and I would love to bring it to DC Draft House. And they said sure. They actually went to both of my shows, but I said no. I'm gonna stay true to Beer Baron because I'm a loyal broad. And then so I brought the Black Card Declined. We did it the first time for free, and it was completely sold out. The second time we did it, we started charging like just $5, and people really enjoyed it. We had to start putting more work in. I got Charity Sade, who is my partner. That's who I gave the Wonderland, that show that you came to. I don't do that anymore. Charity runs it. It's an open mic. So I needed a co-host. So I got her to be my co-host because I couldn't do it all, like reading questions and giving out raffle tickets. Because then at the end, the winning raffle ticket in the audience gets a blackety black prize.
Blackety black
What is
prize.
it?
Blackety
Royal?
black.
What is it?
So sometimes it's like one time we gave out pink oil moisturizer.
Nice.
But we all give like a prize, like a gift certificate to Busboys and Poets. So like there's always two gifts, like a blackety black fun prize, and then like I won't say a real prize.
I want the hot pink oil.
That's what I'm saying. Like I
Or
don't
at
say the
least,
real
like,
prize because
the hot
somebody
Mr.
really
Henry's
needed that.
or something.
Afro
that-
6.
Bus
One
Boys.
time we got cocoa. Well, right. So, we try to get what we can. We gave away cocoa butter, and then a Black Panther comic books, and then once we gave away. What did we give last time? We gave away. We sponsored Black Lives Matter, the DC chapter, and so they got a free Lives Matter T-shirt. And that was the time we gave away the cocoa butter. So like we do lots of things. This coming up for February for Black History Month, we are giving away Head Rock is donating his Black rock star superhero sweatshirt. And he is providing, and so he's doing that. And then we're also giving away 2 free tickets to opening night for Black Panther.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So when is the next Black Card Decline show?
February 21st.
February 21st. From
Yes. 8:30. Doors open
8:30.
at 8:30. Show starts 8:45. Sharp, not Black people time.
Sharp.
8:45. Doors open at 8:30. It's advertised as still starts at 8:30. I should not have told you all.
Black
That it
card
starts at
declined.
8:45. But that's when it starts. Come get drinks, and you see comedy and you answer questions, and it's super fun.
at
Black Card
the
Decline.
Draft Comedy House.
DC Draft House.
221
Theater. And so that's where it is. So if you go to the DC Draft House website, you can get tickets on February 21st.
221
Yes. I also do a sex storytelling show.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
knew that would get
God.
more. I would do that. I love that show. It's called Smash because I'll be. And so
Sassy.
so Smash is a storytelling where we tell awkward and funny stories about sex.
Awkward.
And so, yeah, like, there's lots of stories about queefs, lots of stories about accidentally peeing the bed, lots of stories. I got a message about someone accidentally when she was deep throating, throwing up in a man's penis. There's lots of stories. There was the oil story where there was falling in the crack of the bed. Like, they're hilarious stories that coming from the audience. I also I have like 5 comedians. They'll come up and they'll do a set, but then they end on an embarrassing story that happened to them
That's awesome.
during sex.
When can we go to this show?
Yeah.
Yes, we're having our special Valentine's Day,
Oh.
super sexy, awkward sex storytelling show. Smash is on February 17th, the Saturday after Valentine's Day. So you could bring your boo and say, hey, let's do a show and then dinner. And then you go right upstairs to the Beer Baron and rent a room. So I feel like I've created the whole Beer Baron.
Rewind that track, Top Selecta.
Beer Baron is not just a performance space and bar. It is also a tavern. Like it's a hotel up top too.
What?
I did not
So this is
realize
So it's like
that.
a
Story
movie
sharing
from the Wild
server?
Wild West.
No one actually goes upstairs after, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. You go there, it's a dive bar. It's a dive bar with a performance space, and you go, and it's a super fun place to be. And we have DJ Soyo. I don't know if you know DJ Soyo.
She's super dope.
She is super
Soyo!
dope. She will
Yes.
be at our next one. She was at our last one. We were talking about love songs or songs that happen songs that inspire sex, think of sex, or
Ooh.
songs that you lost your virginity to. So she was playing the whole playlist that people had like inboxed me, and I gave her the playlist, and then she put in songs on her own. And then next month in February, we're gonna bring her back because everyone loved her.
She's super dope.
She is.
Yeah,
She works
is.
so hard.
She's one of my favorites. And every time I see her, and I'm like, she's always so supportive. I love
Yes.
women, supporting women. She's like,
Yes.
Michele, whatever you want, I want to be a part of it. Like, don't worry about it. It's going to be dope. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to finally stop saying, no, it's fine. You don't have to do that. And say, yes, I need you.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Please help.
Please.
Yes.
She is wonderful.
Yes.
That sounds so awesome. Molly, I challenge you to rent a room at the
Dude, I'm
Beer
so in
Tavern.
there.
I'm just trying to figure out, are these sex stories awkward or is this a fetish thing? Because the stories you said, like if somebody wants to come and talk to me after I told a story of peeing or throwing up.
Let me just say.
No, you're not supposed to be the comedian in the story. You're supposed to go on a date and listen to other people talk about.
No,
people in the audience.
like,
People in the
oh,
audience.
yeah.
I have them
Oh.
slide into my DMs,
See?
Sabrina Girl DMs, and tell me their awkward stories. There's lots of this on my phone right now.
So they don't know who told
They
the
don't
story.
know
You
who
just
told
share
it, and so
the
that's.
story.
I was so surprised. People tell me all their business, but I don't say their name, and
Okay.
it's not in my Facebook
Oh,
DMs. It's
okay.
in the Brainy Girl DMs, and so I get on stage in
my
between
God.
comics and read the stories that they send me, and there are some amazing ones. And I tell a story about a man spitting on my vagina. So I said it as something that I did not like, and so
You don't like
It
that?
makes me recoil.
So then,
Okay.
so every time I tell the story, there's always like 3 girls who are like, "What? I love that," and I'm like,
Ooh.
"To each his own, to each his own." But I feel like keep your saliva out of it. If it should be wet down there, and if it's not,
Wait a
that's your
second.
fault.
But
Just
his
keep your
spit
saliva
is
out
gonna
of it.
get there anyway.
But don't
just
spit on
like
like a loogie on my vajayjay.
What if he slurps it back up though?
Ew!
Okay, next topic. I'm sorry.
No, I don't.
I don't know.
I don't know if I need
So
spit.
sorry.
Don't spit. I feel like this.
Don't knock the cords out of the wall, Mike.
I
I
don't
see you recoiling.
Campaign
Yeah,
statement.
I'm
Absolute
with
terror.
Michelle. I don't want anyone spitting on
Spitting
me.
on
I don't want
it.
anyone like
They
coming on my
licked
face
on you,
or
but they can't
anything.
spit on
No.
you. Like that's just such an odd line.
You can
It is.
lick
That's
me,
a line. You can-
absolutely.
You
but
can
don't
lick me.
spit
Don't
on me.
spit. Don't hock a loop.
No.
You can.
Wait,
you can
spitting and hocking a loogie
Warm
are
it
two
up.
totally
No, I
different.
Your
know.
lips
It's not like-
can spit on
like-
him, but he
if they
can't
have
spit
to,
on you.
If they have
That's
to
so
go
rude.
into the throat
Well,
You spit on.
get it.
You spit on them.
I mean, sometimes I'll have to.
You
See?
have to. They
You just sitting there
requested.
drooling.
I'm a good.
You need
because
to
I'm
ask.
a nice and
You can just
and
drool, but it's rude
I
when
could
he
just-
doesn't, huh?
That's
Because
just
I'm
real
not,
life. Like, I
well,
just wouldn't
I'm doing
know.
it for him.
That's-
I'm letting
that's
him
what's
know.
wrong.
I'm letting
That's
him
just
know that
wrong.
don't do nothing for me. So don't spit. Like I'm spitting so he can have maximum enjoyment.
Uh-huh.
But don't spit on me
See
because
what
that's
you-
not
see-
maximum
see,
enjoyment.
You had to take
Maximize.
I'm gonna maximize his enjoyment.
very one-sided and selfish.
Perspective is
Well-
everything.
I don't know if the guy actually like enjoys spitting on my vagina. I feel like he thinks that he should. Like I don't know what porn
It
you
does
look
seem
at,
kind
bro.
of disrespectful. Was
I know. I feel like they learned it from a bad porn or something.
I think
you
that
know?
that's what it is.
Like I've never seen a porn where there was like a respectful spitting on the pussy.
Nah.
It was always
Nah.
like
it's so beautiful. Mwah. It's French. It's a
you
French
know,
kiss. It's
I
how
don't-
the French kiss it.
I don't know.
That's what
I
they
just,
do.
I need more
Why,
like
Jam?
I need
Ooh la
more
la,
wine
that-
for this
that.
conversation.
I need more like buttering up in a like loving way.
I need to be
I guess.
way intoxicated for someone
Randy.
to spit on my vagina.
So
Why are you putting out the Windex, Mike?
apparently
Like,
we
what
need
is,
to clean it up.
is that the
I am just saying
the
that
in studio cue?
it
I don't even know how we got here. We're gonna pivot
I
out
know.
and
I don't know.
say
All I'm
Vote for
saying
Jay
is-
Mills. Vote
Yeah.
for Jay Mills.
All I'm
Always.
saying is people tell a lot of things.
We got so
Respect.
far away
DMs.
from that, then you just
We
reeled
did.
it back in.
think about others.
But you know,
February 17th is this and more.
I can't wait. We're gonna definitely like repost when all of your shows are on the MNM page and
Yeah.
shout you out. And I can't wait personally myself to go to this
It's fun.
sex stories show.
It's really
You
fun.
know,
Yeah.
maybe I'll share about my Kim and Kanye dream.
Whoa.
on there.
Nice.
You know? So,
If you're
who knows?
curious about that, just watch last week's
Last week's
episode.
Last week.
See, now I gotta go.
The
watch
epic
it.
tale. So
Kanye.
It was really good. It was funny because people were like tuning in midway and like
What
thought
the
it
hell
was a
is
real
going
story. They were just like, "What,
What is
the
going
fuck
on?"
is going on?"
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, and then me and Kanye, he looked me in my eyes. Oh, that's when I lost it.
he
Oh,
did.
wow.
That's when I lost
It
it.
was so real.
Oh, good.
But, you know, shout out to all the women out there who are also pregnant and experiencing really weird random
Oh, yeah,
pregnancy
that's right.
dreams. Shit is too real, yo. So I swear I'm about to be Kim Kardashian's racial justice image consultant. That's
You
what
should see. She does. See, she needs somebody.
But look, we need to tag her in this and last week's episode because she might watch that and be compelled to make that thing happen. You know what I'm saying?
you know,
She may
I
be
think it's
compelled to
gonna
help
happen.
people vote for Nikki Lewis,
She might be.
National
And Jay
Committee
Mills,
woman.
too.
Yeah.
You know,
Democratic.
that would be dope. That would be kind of weird, but that'd be dope.
It would be.
When are you gonna run for office?
Well, I am running for office right
Yeah.
now. So
What?
I'm,
We're on a slate
Wait,
together.
How we-
How
together.
did you just gloss over that part?
yo, because I'm like,
I'm always running for
my-
something.
You know,
She's like, I'm gonna win.
my work speaks for itself. I don't need to talk
does.
about what I'm
Um,
doing.
No.
So impressive.
I'm sorry. Your work does speak for itself, but people need to know.
So this is what's up. I'm gonna talk a little shit right now. I'm gonna
Go
inform
ahead.
people what's really happening in the District of Columbia.
Party
So.
foul. Let it go.
Go
Politic
ahead.
hour, well, couple of minutes. So, every state has a Democratic state committee, a Republican state committee, because this is a bipartisan country, and DC has the same, even though we're not officially a state. And I don't even know if we have a Republican committee here because everyone's a
Maybe
Democrat.
I should join it and
or an
infiltrate.
independent. Maybe actually, Carol,
should.
Carol Schwartz is
Michelle.
a
Do it.
Republican.
Michelle, me and you, we should form the Republican committee.
That's
man.
bad
Take
for my
over
brand.
every office.
Anyway, so we're derailing. We're derailing.
Yeah.
So here in DC, we have a Democratic state committee.
Yep.
The committee's responsibilities are to, well, one that people are most excited about is to nominate the person that we want for presidential nominee. Like that's how the DNC operates. All the different Democratic committees across this, plate nominate people and then vote for someone. There was Bernie and Hillary last time, and Hillary won out. So it's the people who are elected to participate in that process. The other thing that the Democratic State Committee is supposed to do is really engage people in the democratic process here, help turn people out to vote, make sure that they know when their local ward Democratic committee meetings are. There's the Ward 4 Democrats, Ward 7 Democrats. There's all these different groups across the city of ways that you can get involved to take action and make resolutions or do whatever needs to be happening in your communities. So the DC Democratic State Committee has representatives from all different wards at large across the city, and that's what they're supposed to do: get people out to vote, know what's going on, and make presidential nominations. Now, there's other things that they can be doing. They should be holding other elected officials accountable to the values of the committee. And the reason that I am running along with Jay Mills this time as a Democrat is because that's the part I care about. I care about holding the mayor's office and the city council of DC accountable to democratic values, because as of late, it feels, even though this is a progressive city, that some of them call themselves Democrats, but they're really light Republicans.
We here to check the balances.
We do need to check the balances. There's people, who are holding up, coming up with innovative solutions to make sure that women and families across the city have access to universal health care and paid time off. There's people who are holding up the budgetary process so that there's not enough affordable housing growth in the city, that we're not really addressing our homeless issues. They like to do the little smallest things possible to improve things when we have this huge capacity in our budget. We have like $300 million or $300 million in like savings right now, and we're just trying to like hold it. Actually, it's probably more than that. Don't quote me on those numbers, but we have a lot of money in saving, and I just want to push our council to use that money for what the people are crying for. And what typically happens here is the people en masse will cry for better public education, fix DCPS. They'll cry for affordable housing and to deal with homelessness. And they'll cry for better wages and working conditions in the city, more parks, more affordable childcare. And then what will happen is all of that that could potentially get funded gets lobbied away by a very few small majority of corporate interests and developers who actually pay for our current council members to win, because they need people to door knock for them. They need money for signs, and to do it in mass and do it well, you need a lot of money. So they're really accountable to a small few and campaign on people like us, our issues, but then they're not accountable to us. And straight up, I'm tired of that shit. And so I am running for National Committee Woman.
That's super official sounding. Go ahead.
National Committee Woman in the building.
Committee Woman.
Yes.
So,
Nikki National.
We're hashtag.
Hey,
so,
National Nikki Lewis.
Yes,
we're running on a slate together. It's called Dump Trump.
Dump Trump.
Dems for Action.
Dems for Action.
Action.
Number 4.
So when you go to vote, you can start voting early on June 16th.
Yes, you can.
The actual primary is June 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to vote for all the different people who are running for city council and whatnot, this June, you can also vote for Nikki M.G. Lewis and Jay Mills.
Jay Mills.
On the Dump Trump Dems for Action slate. And I'm really excited about it because there's all these other awesome, badass organizers, community advocates, and long-term people who have served the city.
Squad.
It's super diverse. We got Black folks, Latino folks, white folks, old folks, new folks, young folks, like everybody who's doing stuff and who actually gives a fuck about this city. So it's pretty exciting. And it's going to be a lot of people's first time running for office too, like Jay Mills. So whether whether we actually like win or not, it doesn't matter because people are learning how to get involved and
help.
run. You
We're
know,
gonna
I want to
win.
help. I can make
You're gonna
signs or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yes.
down.
We're gonna
Thank you.
win. We're gonna get people excited.
sounds-
We're gonna
this sounds
activate it.
exciting.
it's exciting.
Actually, we can record commercials here. We can do like PSAs. We can do all
of
kinds of
those
fun
things.
stuff here.
That'd be so
Oh, we're
doing
awesome.
Dude,
it.
I got you.
Thank you.
Take
Can I be
Taking
like
over
your
the city.
unofficial campaign managers?
Kicking out the
your
incumbent.
campaign production managers.
Hey,
I don't know anything
look,
about politics.
campaign
But I will
concerts.
make you
What's
some
up?
pretty ass videos.
Campaign
man.
concerts.
We
Let's
would
do
actually
it.
love that.
Let's go.
I'm totally down. That's so awesome.
Let's take
We're
it to the
excited.
tizzy top.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, only 2 to 10% of our population votes
Yes.
for local elections.
All right,
time-
dropping
So-
statistics.
Last time it was 4%.
that's how you know it's real.
4.
Right.
Yeah.
Last time
All we
got to
do is activate the sleeping
You
giants.
know why?
And it's a wrap.
And I'll tell you, I'll speak from my very limited experience because I don't know who the fuck all those people are. I
Who
go
even
to the
knows what the
ballots
Democratic State Party
and-
did?
and I go to vote and I know who I'm voting for, and then there's a grip of other names. And I
Right.
don't vote. I don't check any boxes. I don't want to pick based on whether I like your name or not because you might be a horrible fucking person.
Yeah.
With a
Right?
nice name.
And we've actually talked about this before about doing like a cheat sheet, like a cliff notes for like
Yeah.
Everybody who's
you know,
pro weed.
5 stances and just see where people are at so that you
Yes.
can know. Because, like, you know, you go to the ballots and there's so many other names and other choices and you don't know
You don't know who they are.
who they
Yeah.
are or what it's about. So this is awesome. This
I'm on the
is
platform
so
of weed, and I look
great.
forward to speaking to every politician and asking them how do they feel about cannabis. Because if you are against cannabis, you are pro cancer. And that is how I feel. That is what I'm going to say.
that
if
is
you are not
wisdom.
for
That's
cannabis,
a wisdom nugget.
you are pro-cancer. You're a pro-cancer candidate, and I will make sure to put you out there. Shout outs to
definitive.
everybody.
That's right.
It's definitive. At
Let's
this point in time,
rewrap that. If you are anti-cannabis,
you are pro-cancer.
shit,
Flat out.
shit.
It's that simple.
Done.
We're not even going to tap dance around this and talk about legal and blah, 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 blah. If you hate on weed, you love cancer.
Oh.
So don't be pro cancer. Be pro
Don't
cannabis.
be
Yes.
pro-cancer.
And
be
vote for Jay
pro-cannabis.
Mills.
And
You know?
vote for Jay Mills. We're going to
And
hold
Nikki
everybody
Lewis.
accountable.
And Nikki Lewis. See, I'm just like.
But I can understand why you wanted to separate those two from most of the
I will be
That was Jay
advocating-
Mills, everyone.
Yes,
Jay
funny.
Mills.
I will be advocating.
only Jay
I'm pro
Mills.
cannabis too. I'm definitely not pro cancer. I'm pro cannabis all the way.
Hey.
I'm coming for
Hey.
everybody, yo.
Anti-cancer, what?
But I'm also like pro workers' rights.
Yes.
Pro public school
Yes.
getting
Yes.
fixed in fucking
Yes.
DC.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm pro affordable housing and universal housing.
Yes.
I'm pro affordable child care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pro universal health care for
Yes.
everyone.
Yes,
and
for everybody.
implementing this shit and
Implement it.
fighting Trump and fucking
Don't- Trump.
Congress who
Yes.
are trying to hold this shit up. I'm pro
Fuck 'em.
immigrants' rights. I'm
Yep.
all of these things that the federal and local governments need to be accountable
They
to
better.
and budget for.
All right.
So that's what's up.
I'm with that.
And I want to do a quick little business shout out. I want to shout out again the Draft House, DC Draft Comedy House. Thank you for hosting fabulous comedians like Michele sometimes and a whole slew of other people. Shout out some of the other folks that you respect here in the DMV who are in the comedy scene.
Oh, well, I a shout out to James Gagan, who is the manager at Beer Baron, without whom I would not have had my first large scale shows, and he trusts me enough to give me weekends at his establishment. So shout out to him.
That's awesome.
Shout out
Beer
to
Baron.
yes, Beer
Getting
Baron.
a weekend on at a legit ass spot is
That's
a very,
major.
It's a big
very,
deal. And
very
he gave-
difficult thing.
He gave me a chance, and then
Yes.
as my audience grew, he gave me more percentage of what goes on and how much money they
As
make.
it
and
fucking
that-
should be,
and
but
that
rarely
rarely
is.
happens. And so,
Well, you are a
he
big
is
deal.
Great.
I'm glad someone fucking
He
recognizes.
does. Shout out to Antoine from DC Improv as well. DC Improv didn't book me for a long time because I fuck heavy with DC Comedy Theater, but don't do that. Antoine booked me this last week. I was at the DC Improv
Yay.
open mic.
Awesome.
But he's also given me an opportunity to host the DC DMV Comedy Showcase that he continues to have. And shout out to Allison Jaffe. For a long time, there wasn't a lot of people of color that were in the DC Improv, and I feel like that the current management just wants people who are funny and that will bring people in.
Amen.
And so shout out to them and
Imagine
for people
that.
for giving people a chance, and for people who love comedy and will come and support live comedy like they do live music.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know what? Shout out to that, because I talk about how much I love stand-up comedians, yet
You don't be at shows.
no, I mean I don't go out, but you know what? I should make a point to, like, you know, once a month, once a quarter.
Yeah,
You know, because I make a point to
Every now and
support,
again.
like, you know, I'll go see friends at shows, and you know, I may or may not be on the list, but I'm still gonna pay, especially if
Yeah.
I know that, like, you know what I'm saying, they got some
It'd be good
investments.
to laugh more too.
Yeah, and hell yeah. I mean, I really do have such a huge respect for stand-up comedians.
And
It's just
DC right now
so
has
important.
a great scene. There's lots of different places, and not just like shows, like organized shows, but like the open mics that people go and work stuff out. And my friend Mike Brown does every Monday at Shenanigans at Adams Morgan. There's a place, Capital Laughs, who do shows, who do paid shows at Shaw's Tavern, but also have shows
Oh,
at
upstairs?
Town Tavern. Yes,
It's a good room.
It
That's
is
a beautiful
great
room.
And,
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
So there's lots of different places around town. Of course, the big dog, Sean Joyce with DC Underground Comedy, who has shows every weekend at Big Hunt. So the scene is very vibrant. There's lots of places for people to do comedy, and
Where
the
they
shows
do it
are
upstairs
quality.
at the Hunt?
Shout out to Eddie B.
Or that
No,
side room?
downstairs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
a
a
downstairs.
there's a downstairs.
Oh, you don't know?
No, I
It's
don't
a
know
late
about the
night.
downstairs.
They have paid shows at 10, and then they have open mic at 11, and it is just as funny. You can go from there. You can like go have dinner and then come by Big Hunt, and you can be laughing for a couple hours.
That is
So,
super sexy
it's
and
great.
cute,
It
grown
is-
ass adult
it
evening
really
right there.
is. It
That's
really
what I'm
is.
about these days.
yes,
I
Grown
am.
ass
An
adult
evening.
evening.
I am, but like fun shit, you know? I was
Yeah.
in the club for like 10 years.
It's a lot. There's not
It's
many
a
clubs for
lot.
us to go to anymore.
No,
so.
like I'm clubbed out, and so
not
now I
fun.
like
I
to
don't
do
like too many
dinner and
people.
comedy. I like to do dinner
Yeah,
and a
dinner
movie. I like
show.
to go to an art museum. I
Have
like
a seat.
Yeah,
and
we
shit.
grown.
yes,
Sit down. That's right. Can I sit down?
exactly.
I went to the club the other night to
What club do you go to?
L8.
Where's that? See, I
Late.
don't even know.
Exactly. I didn't know either.
I'm so old.
And I tried to
Never heard
go.
of that either.
I went with Mike actually to go see Pinky Killicorn.
Hola.
Hold up.
Hola.
And TCB was there, and they were
Oh,
performing.
nice.
Hey.
Okay, that's a grown ass, sexy adult, awesome night. That's dope.
Well, let's not.
TCB? Wait a
let's
minute.
not jump to conclusions.
Oh,
here.
okay.
No, I tried to go, and we went, and let me just rewind this track. So I completely forgot about this, but it looked like a mini White House I was walking into because it was like 15th and F, or you know what I mean, like in that zone. And I get there, and the female security guard, I was like, walk up, and I kind of know what's about to happen, and so I'm like, and she's like, okay, and she goes, I swear to God, she's like, here, and then like touches my vagina, and it's like here, and like literally lifted my like my vestibule, if you will, with her fucking hand, and I was like,
Yuck.
You just knocked the
Okay.
magazines down.
okay, yeah, you just knocked over my magazine rack,
Disturbed
bitch.
my whole vestibule.
That was crazy.
That's never happened to me.
Oh no, me neither. And I've gone to a lot of raves and sketchy places and had all kinds of searches happen to me, and I have never had anybody like literally like I was like
You had a cavity
Violate your
search.
vestibule.
almost wanted her phone number afterwards just to
Like-
like make the thing not almost an
Weird.
assault. You know what I'm saying?
You just
Don't want her phone number, by the way. But I'm just saying.
So
It was hella
don't
awkward.
Go to
so then,
L8.
yeah. So, but that's apparently normal because I know when I'm concealing a handgun, I like to place it in between my thighs, right on the entry of my vagina. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? And so if you
Vestibule.
want to make sure that there's not a gun there, no, it's not okay. And so then she reached in my pockets and she pulled this out. And I was like, yep, that's in my pocket. And she opened it, and there was some of my homegrown weed in it, but not very much, you know.
Which you're allowed to carry.
And
you said
in
thank you.
DC
And she
now.
goes, this is going to the car. And I said, well, I don't have one of them. You know? And she goes, well, this can't come in. I said, what's the legal amount of cannabis? And she said, not here. You're on federal property. The White House is right there. And I said,
At
cool.
the club?
Nah.
At the club. And so I was like,
Nah, that's lies.
I was like,
Lies.
cool, no problem, you know? And so then I wasn't going to go in. And then, like, after standing there for 10 minutes waiting for Pinky or whatever, and then the guy was like, hey, you know, if you want, you can go in. I was like, no, it's fine. Really, please don't let me in. I really just kind of want to go home. That's my whole club life story.
Wow.
But
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
But yes.
You didn't even make it in the club.
No, I didn't. And I was so grateful to him. He's like, you want to go in? I was like, no. We're good. Just leave me on not getting in status. You know what I mean? It's Sunday night.
Right.
I don't really want to go in right now. Especially, I'm not going through security again. I'm not. No.
No.
Because she only got a third
some
of the way
reason-
through that security check. So I don't even want to know what was coming next. You know what I'm saying? But I watched other people go through the line, and it was just like no one else seemed very upset by it. And I'm like, is this really
that the
like? Is
thing
this
now?
really how like? I mean, is that how like
Everyone
black
feels like they
events are
can
fucking
grab
treated?
pussy.
Because I've never been, you know what I'm saying? Or because
there's
it was
always police
2
around.
blocks because of the White House. But like, what
Was
the
this a
fuck are you
black
touching
event?
my vagina? Yeah, it was, I mean, it was
I've been
t-shirt.
She was
there.
black?
Yes.
Oh,
I've been-
in my mind, her name was Helga.
No,
Oh,
she. But I'm
good
just saying,
Lord.
security. Why is security instructed to perform on such a deep level? I've never been anywhere.
That's
No,
never happened to me
me
before.
either.
And
Me
I've been
neither.
to mad black
And
events.
I've been going
And
to
she
a
said-
lot of go-go's.
She said like this.
Yeah.
She said,
No one's
"Here,
ever shook my vestible.
Here. Okay.
Maybe she just liked you.
Like looked me
Maybe.
in the
And
eye.
she didn't know how to
I think
approach-
she liked
You know what?
You got groped.
She didn't know how to. She didn't know how to
liked
talk
you.
to
She didn't know how to express herself.
What? Just like Aziz Ansari didn't know how to make it to third base, so he had to be a creeper about it.
17,000
No.
fucking times.
Exactly.
Let me check your
This is-
vestible for
This is not a
But
sexual harassment
I
issue.
feel like
This is
she
a
kind of
dork
knew that I was
issue.
gonna have a problem with it if she didn't like pre-announce what was gonna happen. But other people seemed totally cool with it. And I mean, I watched her get all up
Wow.
in dudes and girls, all up in their fucking business. It was not just isolated to women. You know, it was. But I'm like, are people really sneaking in like tiny little handguns?
Yes, razors
Up
is
in
actually
there.
what you mostly sneak into a go-go.
What are you looking for in my vagina? Like, what? Are you checking my magazine rack for the latest issue? What are you possibly looking for in
People
my
get
vagina?
stabbed and shot in go-go's
Especially
all
in the
the
particular.
time. That's like how go-go's end.
I don't know. All I have
By
to say
someone
is,
getting
Molly,
stabbed
go-go.
or
I'm
shot or
sorry
stumped the
that
fuck out.
That happened.
I mean,
to
it's
you.
okay.
15 times.
I'm fine. It was-
Am I wrong?
it's
Mike,
fine.
you shake your head. What are the statistics? Out of all the go-go's of a certain
Why are you
demographic? Now,
feel like
subtle
you can
thoughts joints aren't
stereotype.
ending like
Yeah,
that.
why are you-
know, Rare
why are you-
Essence isn't ending like that.
No, dude.
Backyard has not ended like that in a very long time.
Look, I have had 18 different go-go bands come up.
you
in
did not
here
have a go-go.
every Wednesday night, and
You
not
did not
once.
have a go-go
Has
where every
anybody out
single
there-
set was there and they literally called out
know.
everybody, and it was if you
I was never able to go to one of those.
it be what it
You
be.
sound
it is what it is.
regretful.
It's like you see people
I
at
mean,
the
we
go-go
moved-
and
we
you be
moved.
wondering where they at, and then they be
Right.
like, where that
They-
Montana?
and they
There they at,
right
man.
over there.
Right there. There they.
We could do that. I
There
moved,
they
I
are.
moved from Jersey when I was like in the 6th or 7th grade, and go-go was really big. And I didn't know anything about go because I'm from Jersey. But for a while, like everyone was going to this place called Crystal Skate.
Yeah.
Yes, in
I'm aging
Alexandria.
myself right now. You go to Crystal Skate, and they used to have go-go at Crystal Skate, and then my parents would not let me go to Crystal Skate because they loved me. And they wanted me to
wait a
survive.
minute. Shout out to Crystal Skate.
I used
And
to go
then-
to Crystal Skate, but
No,
not
they
during the
wanted me to.
go-gos.
They wanted me to
Still
survive, and so I've never been. And they would have these go-go's. They would have them on Georgia Avenue. They would have these whole things, and they used to that place that right now is right on the corner. I can't remember, but it used to be. I can't remember what it's.
Ibex?
The Ibex, and now there are condos now. But the Ibex used to have these go-go's and
Brightwood
stuff.
Bistro.
I was never. Yes. Oh my gosh, you're old like me. And so then, but I could never go. And so then afterwards, I was over it, and so I was trying finished trying to prove myself to those girls, those PG County girls.
I was too young to go to the Ibex, but I definitely partied with Backyard. I love Go-Go. I party with TCB back when they first made that ass clap and all that good stuff. Shout out to Raw Image. I feel like if you're a Washingtonian, a native Washingtonian, which also, side note, I feel like we need like Native American tribal protection because we're like
there's so
rare
few
and endangered, and they killed us and drugged us and murdered us and jailed us to the point where we really are due some sort of reparations.
I mean,
Washingtonians here in this
nigga.
federal fucking city where you allow
so
open air drug markets to
It's
fester
so
to the
rare
point
to see.
where any person who had any sorts of want to save themselves in the 90s finally said fuck it and moved to PG County.
Yep.
Because going to these different meetings and demanding our safety be respected didn't happen, but now suddenly these Virginians and other people are here now, and you want to put lights and grocery stores in our neighborhoods. Fuck you very much to the past people who've allowed this to happen. Shout outs to me and Nikki running right now. Just had to throw that in there. Accountability is real. But shout outs to Go-Go. You know, it's just crazy.
Absolutely.
In the midst of the craziness. Like there's certain songs where you just knew. Like, why did they make Tear the Club Up? Why did they even make that song? Why did you make Rough It Off, Junkyard? You knew. Rough It Off. Rough It was about to be crazy.
It was about to be crazy.
It's like Annie Up.
You'll get
like if you play Annie
There
Up,
were so many
exactly
songs
the same
that
vibe.
it was just
guaranteed.
The same
It was
vibe. You will
gonna
have
happen.
bruises. They will be
Sometimes you need to get
moshing.
it out, though.
It was gonna happen.
Sometimes the
man.
people need to get it out. There's that kind of
Southside
energy,
said,
you know?
how you want to curry? It's whatever.
There's
Okay,
this
I'm
comedian who
sorry.
talks about every time they say like a different neighborhood, like Trinidad Avenue, like those are the
Trinidad.
places I won't go. So let me just write those down every time you say them. I will not go to those
I
neighborhoods.
live like a block from Trinidad Avenue.
Shout outs to Trinidad.
I mean, it's Capitol Hill now.
Shout outs to Capital F. Grew
No,
up
well,
around there.
they're calling it Noma, but I refuse.
When I was first,
Really?
Yeah.
when
All the way
I
over there?
first got
North of
divorced,
Mass
I was
Ave.
trying to move into DC. It was going to be a whole Sex and the City thing, and this real estate agent told me, "Oh, this is it's called East Capitol Hill," and so I'm driving, and there's Trinidad Avenue,
Trinidad.
and I make a right hand turn, and I meet this guy, and I'm like, "This is Trinidad. This
Trinidad.
is not. It's East Capitol Hill, and there's going to be a trolley, and it's going to change everything." And I'm like, "Okay," but it wasn't big enough for anybody, and they would charge a bazillion dollars.
I called these people that had this apartment complex. I heard that they were renting all this money. I couldn't believe it. They're right across from Hackinger Mall on Maryland Avenue.
Yep.
And their apartments start, I feel like, at like 2100.
Yes.
Or something stupid like that.
Yes.
So, I called and I used my best
The Atlas.
I used my best non-regional dialect to discover exactly what their price range was for these apartments. And I acted as if I was not a Washingtonian at all. I allowed them to describe this Capitol View apartment and this lovely
beautiful.
view of the Washington skyline. And then I asked them, I said, okay, you all are located where? She said, Maryland Avenue. I said, you all are located on Maryland Avenue by the Pinnacle or whatever.
No, stop it. I said, yes, and they're $1 million. You can't move here. Goodbye.
You're charging how much and y'all on Maryland Avenue? Like by the Pinnacle? Like by Hackinger Mall? Oh, okay. I just had to
Across
make
the
sure because
street,
for a
right?
second there I thought you was trying to sell me a luxury neighborhood, not just expensive apartments. My bad.
You know what's crazy? Is they just built like two of those new like 3-story apartment buildings that are like all glass units on Trinidad Ave and then on Morse or whatever the next one is. Like when you're going down Florida.
Trinidad.
And I'm like, little do these people know that like the only thing they're gonna get is like a bird's eye view of like grown men shitting in the alley at like 1 p.m. Like, welcome to Trinidad, motherfucker, because like that's what you're like. Why would any like I don't get it.
You go and you squat until it is safe, and that's what people do. They sometimes you see this with a one white family. And the one white family, and they'll be there, and then all of a sudden they'll be jogging, and they're not running for their life; they're jogging for health reasons, and that's how you know urine
That's
is
the
about to go
juxtaposition.
through the roof. And they will jog with their dogs, and then God forbid you see them jogging with a jogger stroller.
Oh man,
It's over.
there goes the neighborhood.
There goes the neighborhood. Unless they put in a Starbucks, and that's cool.
This seems to be a recurring topic that we talk about on the show is how the neighborhoods change and gentrification and affordable housing or lack thereof. And
Lack thereof. I do
we're
well
gonna
for
talk
myself.
about
I
it.
can't afford to move to DC, and I do well.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
tough.
afford it, and
It's tough
I
here.
can't even qualify for those control. Like they put some set asides, and you have to make only a certain amount of money. Do you
There's
know
a
how
list for that.
Yeah, first of all, the list is long, and so I'm like, I mean,
There's
and
people
you
gaming
can't-
this system too. There's like,
I gotta forge some
Yeah.
my W-2s or something because I can't. I make too much for that. I'm like, well, really, who are these people who can afford this?
I
So
don't know.
listen,
That's
my
who
best
I want to
advice-
know.
And what do they do for a living?
Kill themselves
they lie.
trying to
They're
afford
grad
this
students
place.
from Minnesota who
Well,
like.
that's what it is.
But how
Yeah.
can you afford that if you're a grad? Anyway, I don't get it.
Their parents.
Look, man.
Loans,
So look, our entire country's financial system is built on fraud.
racism, and
Right.
genocide.
Or
So,
you're grad
like-
students and you only have your
mean, no, it's
financial
true.
aid, and that's how you make underneath the amount, and that's the set aside.
It's 100% true, man. Everybody's gaming the system. Even like our whole mortgage system, it's front-loaded interest. So when you have a mortgage, you're paying all the interest for a 30-year loan front-loaded into your payments. That's why when you have a mortgage and it's $4,000 a month, 3,800 of it is interest and 200 is principal. So, or if your mortgage payment is $1,000, 900 of it is interest and $100 is principal. So the first year of owning a home, no matter how big your mortgage payment is,
You didn't
your
pay
balance is like
anything.
$800 less because it's front loaded interest. Like our entire financial structure, our entire fucking social structure in the United States is built on fucking fraud.
Racism and genocide.
That's how I know I'm not responsible enough to buy a home, because right after the first time you said mortgage, all I heard was wah wah wah
Right.
wah wah.
But
I
here's
don't
the-
understand any of it.
Okay, so but my point is,
But no, I do
falsify
get it.
all the documents you
Yes.
need to get what you need, because
Well-
that's what they are all doing as well. So play the fucking game, cover your
Yeah.
tracks, get really good at whiteout, and make your shit happen.
Right. A friend of
mean-
mine moved into the artist lofts, and it's a great
In Brooklyn?
apartment. And yes,
Yeah, they're-
Brooklyn. They're
yeah.
beautiful.
It's like a hotel,
But
you
she
live in.
makes almost as much as I do. But she only counts her art tuition.
Yeah,
Or income.
Shout outs to doing your taxes and
Right.
Speaking
Yeah,
of which,
don't
yeah, it is
Trump.
tax time.
What's that like?
Yes. Gotta file your taxes.
if you have a
yo.
business,
But I
you
do
shouldn't
want
pay.
to.
you should get paid.
I do want to transition because it is that time.
Metaphysical.
It's about time for the metaphysical. I
I'm
want
so
to.
ready.
You ready?
I've been thinking about these 3 words, and I know I'm so ready.
Well, hit us.
Just lead us.
Let's go into this.
Oh man, just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
It's time.
Just like that, we're gonna center ourselves and vibrate higher for a metaphysical moment with Mills. The 3 words I was thinking of was kings, queens, and magical. That's been my vibe for this week and the 2018, the last days of the first month. I always think about the magical nature of what it is to be this eternal spirit walking in this human body, guided by this ego-driven mind that you have the choice to diminish and melt into the all that is everything, or declare yourself to be known as the I. When is the I known? What does that even mean? We're getting real deep. I'm not even going to go back. We're going to keep going forward to those 3 words again, right? Kings, queens, and magical. Each of us is human beings. What does it mean to be a human being? Why did we choose ourselves to have that word being? We're not human is, or human are, or human wills, or human tries, or human woulds, or human mights. We're human beings. And we don't think about the being in the am, in the is, in the awesomeness of what it is to be, to even recognize that you are. Who is the I that said that I am, and what makes us human beings? We don't call them dog beings. We don't say cat beings. We don't say bird beings. We don't give the title being to any other living entity, no plant beings, strawberry beings, but we are human. Being what? You don't finish the sentence. We don't ever finish the sentence. Isn't that crazy? Human being what? Kings and queens and magical creatures. That's what we are. And you don't have a choice in it. You don't have a choice in being royal. You don't have a choice in being a king or a queen or magical. See, there's magical in your words. Your words, not even your words, in your thoughts and how you choose to express these things. We live to express ourselves. That is it. You came here to express yourself, and words sometimes don't do enough, so you dance. So you write a poem. So you draw a picture. So you do all these things to explain yourself. But who are you that you think that you should be explained in a way that others should listen? It's because you're royal. It's because you are a king. It's because you are a queen. But what kind of king or queen are you going to be? That's your choice. You going to be a good one or a bad one? You can't dump the crown. You can't dump your magic. You could just waste it if you want to. Lie. That's how you waste your magic and your words. Lie. It's crazy how we lie. The society wants you to lie. The society wants you to forget that you were royal. Because if you know that you were royal, how can you ever respect any other authority? What does it mean to be a king? A real king is a leader. A real king serves. We know what a good one is. We know what a bad one is. We're to dump Trump. We are in a time of definition where you must know yourself in truth. 2, numerically is wisdom. 1, numerically is knowledge. 8 is infinity. We are in 2018 where your knowledge times your experience or your wisdom, take it to infinity. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. God bless the souls that walk this earth right now, because people are losing their minds, realizing that they are kings and queens and they have wasted their kingdom. They have wasted their queendom. They have lost their magic. But it's never too late because you're still here. And anything is fucking possible because you're fucking magical. Yes. You're a magical king. You're a magical queen. And you are a human being. Not a human is, not a human was, but a human being forever creating. Never known, undefinable as the all, as undefinable as the universe. How big is it? You couldn't count it because in the time it took to count it, there'd be so many more stars born. You'd have to count again. You are innumerable. You are magnificent beyond belief. Whatever you think you can, you can. Just like that, you can. This is a time of instant gratification, and we must watch our thoughts, our words, and our deeds, and protect our magic, and step into our divinity, and understand that just as there are stars that die, but energy cannot be destroyed. It just turns into a black hole. So for all my bright stars shining, all my wonderful kings and queens out there, and with all this wonderful, beautiful magic, stay close to the light, stay away from the dark, step into the fact that you always are who you've always been, even when you are dwelling in the not of you. You know who you were. You know who you were before something changed you to make you be who you are not right now. We know sometimes when you say you got me out of character, who the fuck do you think I am? You got me fucked up. You always know who you are. You can't lie to yourself, you magical fucking king and queen. I scared you, didn't I? Yeah, it's all good.
Vote for Jay Mills.
Vote for you.
Vote for Jay Mills.
Your magic, man. Step into your kingdom and your queendom, man. Shine. Why not? They gonna hate you for no reason. Give them a reason. That's my word.
All right now.
Another beautiful, powerful, zesty metaphysical moment.
Zesty.
Vote for Jay Mills. Vote for Nikki MG.
Yes.
And thank you to Michele Sometimes.
This is so much fun. Thank you
for
guys.
joining us on another quirky, zany, fresh episode.
Zany.
The MNM Show. Thank you again to Molly Rulin for hosting us, creator of One Love Massive, here at the One Love Massive Factory Floor. We'll catch y'all next week, Tuesday at 9:05. You know how we do. And stay positive, share, like, spread the word about this show, and peace out. We'll catch you next time.